Alright. It's the Innis Gunn Scottish Pale Ale. Look at that. Look at that color of that beer. It's a pale, alright. I am psyched. There we go. Alright. So what we got here is not a whole lot of head on that beer. A little bit darker than your typical pale lager or whatever. Oh man, that's a great aroma. Woo. That's usually within its. Whoa. Got a thumb up right away. Alright. No kidding, this is a. Man. Sure. Tell you the hops, they're using Goldings and, you know, pale ale and Munich malts, right? Super Styrian, East Kent Goldings, Styrian Goldings, right? So we got an ingredients list. That's pretty cool. Cool. Okay. So it's, they're all about the hops here. I don't know what. I don't know what barrel they brewed this one in. Oak aged. Oh man, that's great. Wow, man. Yeah, it's definitely nutty. And oh, that's really, really unique. Wow. Just freaking awesome. 7% alcohol, best served between 4 and 6 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it doesn't talk about what type of hard spirit that the oak barrel was used for. Maybe they didn't use one that was used to house bourbon or whatever. Might just have been a plain old oak barrel. That's something you may want to look up. I really should have done that. Usually says on there. Yeah, you get a bit of alcohol at the back of it, but this is a little bit different than the Innis products I'm used to. I'm searching for the bourbon or the rum or the whatever whiskey cask flavor. I'm not really pulling any of that out here. Maybe something though. You'd think it would have been Scotch, you know. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'm not saying much. I know. Hold on, hold on. I'm having trouble grabbing the flavor associations here. Well, it tastes heavy. Oh, getting maybe some bananas out of it. and some toffee. The hops are so well blended with the whole flavor, and I'm getting a whole ton of alcohol at 7% beer. Yeah, it's kind of elusive. It starts out really soft, and then you know, it is a pale beer, right? And you're getting that, and then all of a sudden you get bombarded with this toffee and this heavy flavors and this alcohol and the hops. Everything's kind of blended, quite well blended together. So, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. It does taste like whiskey in its own way, though. Like it is like a lighter colored whiskey, maybe. You know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't change. It's the same as when I started. I'm not pulling much else out of it. It's just that's all there is to it. It's just alcohol and the oak and the banana toffee type thing, and then the hops are all blended with that. And for me, it's a little overcarbonated. That's the only thing that's kind of wrecking it for me. Is that it is a bit much on the CO2, and the bubbles are really big, and the Innis never really laces a whole lot that I've noticed. It doesn't have a whole lot of foam, but like that's the only thing I can complain about is there's a lot of CO2 in it. That's been my thing to bitch about lately, though, or maybe always. So it looks like we got a nice head happening there, like it's a typical pale ale, right? But no, it's in this, the head's gonna disappear. Because Innis is its own beer, it's its own thing. It doesn't need a head to be good, it's already fucking awesome. But basically, I'm just getting pale malt, bananas, toffee, hops, and like a shit ton of alcohol, which would lead me to believe that there was like scotch or some shit in the barrel before they did it, but it doesn't say on the bottle. But these guys have an awesome website, so maybe check it out. I might have to redo this review and buy it again and check it out because I don't know. I probably do a better Innis review than this one. Bananas, maybe some fruit out of it actually. And just like alcohol, like in the bitter from like the wood, like the alcohol for a 7% beer you're pulling out of this is a ludicrous amount of alcohol. And I'm almost positive it was some kind of whiskey barrel, because you could not get that kind of taste any other way. And all the other Innises are in some kind of whiskey barrel, so they must have done it. If it's from Scotland, they must have done it in a Scotch barrel. I'd be kind of sad they didn't. Scottish beer from Scotland. Scottish pale ale. Brewed in a Caribbean rum barrel or something, you know. Oh, it's a lot better when I slam that CO2 out of there like that. Flatten it out a bit. Oh, that makes it smooth. bit tart. Yep, it's a bit tart. Bitter at the end. Quite bitter. Weird hop conglomeration they're talking about there a little bit. Using a few different types of hops in it, but this is a really strange beer. I'm not really. I'm a little bit surprised at it a little bit, but it's still heavy enough in the alcohol flavor and stuff that I know it's an Innis, but I don't know. It's a bit odd. Okay, well, this neat is kind of bright, fruity, happy beer, I guess. It's kind of all kinds of like wacky banana fruit flavors and stuff. I'm gonna say it's not my favorite Innis at all. Maybe my least favorite Innis. Well, that's just me. Maybe you like it. I don't know. I did a couple of their beers lately. I kind of been like, what the fuck? I just did review the Canadian one with maple syrup. Maple syrup in a beer always tastes like shit, and it did in that one too. But this one, I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 11, and that's bad for an Innis for me because like the Irish whiskey, the Innis original, the rum finish, those are all great. You can check out my reviews on them if I get flipped out because they were awesome. But this one, I don't know. The flavor marks they're going for or something, they're just a little too here and there, and they're trying to maybe do something, but it doesn't need to be done. Like, it's like, I don't know, in my opinion, like, it's leaving kind of a sour tart taste in my mouth and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, it's not exactly kosher by me, I guess. Maybe they need to maybe go back to the basics or something. I don't know, like, yeah, we'll give her 7 out of 11. Actually, maybe a 6. I give it a 6 out of 11. It didn't freak me out. I wasn't drinking it the whole time being, oh wow, this is so good. I'm like, oh wow, there's weird flavors in here, but I'm chasing down weird flavors. And it's a beer. I don't want to hunt down and examine bizarre flavors in my beer necessarily, unless they're all fucking awesome, like in the Innis original, or the Irish whiskey or the rum finish are pretty good. But this one, it's kind of like a guy mixed a bunch of Kool-Aid and weird shit together in a jug and said, what the hell's in this? And then you're drinking it and you're like, oh, you're chasing all these flavors. Well, you know what, it's really not that good. It tastes like you dumped a bunch of weird shit in a fucking jug. And anytime I get a beer that gives me that weird sour taste at the end and your saliva, you're just like, ugh. Like, and you gotta go brush your teeth. That's kind of what I got going on here at the end of this, so yeah, so 6 out of 11, so I'll give it that. And like with the overabundance of the CO2, that's been my big thing to bitch about lately. A lot of people are doing this, it's pissing me off, so yeah, it's not even a halfway beer. Maybe 6.5 for you. We'll do 6.5 Innis Gunn Scottish Pale Ale. It's a halfway beer, half-ass beer, so it's a half-ass beer. Sorry.